Hi all, just doing a check-in. Let's see here. I posted last time I was in the hospital, which would have been like a Saturday or Sunday of last week. I'm happy to say today's Thursday. I've been out of hospital 5 days since Monday. Oh, 4 days. Okay. Losing track of time. Anyways, so for any of those of you that know or may have, that I may have mentioned, I live at altitude. I also live in a cold climate. I also live in a very dry climate. And this is actually more just an observation for anyone who lives in a harsh environment and is going through chemo, going through recovery from surgery, specifically cancer. That's the only thing I really know to talk about right now. But if you're having other health issues, I'm not saying this isn't going to apply to you as well. And that is, I think harsh environments make it a little more difficult to heal. I think the stress of altitude, I live at 8,000 feet, the stress of living in a dehydrating, very dry environment. I think the relative humidity where I live is somewhere between 10 and 20%. It's not much. Even though we do get storms and we do get weather, we don't have like a decent humidity year round. I think it's worse in the wintertime, a little better in the summer. But I came down to LA. I'm down at the beach. I'm a block, not even half a block from the beach. And not only does my car drive better, but I seem to be relaxed, not just mentally, but also physically. I have not been sick while I've been down here. I've also been really careful about what I'm eating because I am traveling alone right now and I don't necessarily have anyone that can get me to an ER really fast. I could get to one, but not fast. I'd be taking Uber to the ER, which actually might not be that bad. I didn't think of that. Anyways, when I first got down here, I almost just noticed this sort of just a sense of ease. I can breathe better. Not that I ever had an issue with breathing, but I can feel that breathing is easy. Not out of breath. Even though I've lived at altitude for 10 years, I still get out of breath. What else? The hydration hasn't felt like a struggle to try and get water in. My skin feels better. My hair feels better. My brain feels better. I've been relaxed. Now the brain part, I'm sure, is partly physiological, but there's probably an aspect of that is being out of the place where I'm predominantly sick. And I'm not saying that the place I live makes me sick. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying, though, is that, and you know this, if you've been sick for a while, the place where you live becomes sort of full of sick energy isn't quite the right word for it, but it becomes a reminder. It's like doing the same thing every day. I think, and this is an observation, and we'll see how it feels when I get back, but I think it has a lot to do with your progress. If you're doing the same thing every day, you're kind of getting the same result. Now, that's a completely generalized statement. But if nothing changes, nothing changes. Again, This is just an observation, just by how I felt when I came down here. I was out of my environment where I felt the most pain. And this is, I'm talking emotional pain, the struggle of being in pain and the struggle of being helpless and the struggle of being sick. Also mentally and emotionally, some of the things that have taken place where I live have been difficult to deal with. This is all in the past now, but there's in some ways I know that some of the things that I went through have made it difficult for me to move on and for me to be really truly healthy. And I think there's a level of stagnation that has gone on in my house. As much as I love it, it's a beautiful place. I love my house. But when I get back, there's going to be some emotional house cleaning. I'm not exactly sure what that looks like yet. I smudge and I have sound bowls and I have nice I enjoy my surroundings and my furnishings and I like the way that my place feels. I always have. But I think there needs to be maybe an overhaul in my decor, in the amount of stuff that I have. Any suggestions that anyone has for that, to really clear the space? Like I said, I'm pretty good about, smudging and the using the sound bowls and intention. Of course, I have a really strong intention for that I want my place to be comfortable and healthy and healing and soothing. And if there's anything else, I just feel like my house needs a revamp. The creative wheels are gonna start turning, but really, really hit home. Just being in someone else's environment, and the environment that I'm in now is, it's beautifully furnished, but it's someone else's stuff. It's, piles of stuff here and everywhere else, just, not unsimilar to my own house, but it's not my stuff. It's not my baggage. It's not the accumulation of my stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. I think the energy trade-off is going to be worth it. Whatever I invest in my home right now is needed to clear the energy, to start over, to start fresh. When I was driving down here, I was following a truck, and I followed the truck for miles. And then all of a sudden, light bulb went off, and across the back of the truck said, "Fresh start." And I was like, oh, okay. I also came across that saying again today, so it's funny that it's coming up in my terminology for this video. I think that's all I have to say about that for now. I'd appreciate any feedback, anything that helped you. I'm totally fine with redecorating. Repainting is always my big thing. But I would like my place to be brighter. It needs to be bright. It needs to feel clean. It needs to feel crisp. It needs to feel new. My home needs to feel new again. Plus, it's a creative process. For me, that kind of stuff is so fun. And I've had a particular style, a particular flair for design, for a particular style of design over the last 3, 4, 5 years. And I think I'm going to switch it up. I think I'm going to change my style. I'm going to get rid of I've gotten rid of so much stuff, but there's always more to get rid of. Yeah, this is going to be fun. I got a haircut. Um, so I'm looking better even though I don't have any makeup on. I've been wearing makeup all day today. But I got a new haircut. It feels thick and it feels healthy again. And I feel cared for. Of course, I came down and got manicure pedicure, which was amazing. Like I said, I'm a half block from the beach. Different sounds and smells and textures and different light and the ocean and the sand and the environment and the vibe and the sounds. This is not a place that I would ever live, but boy, a change just feels so good. So do not, if you're sick, if you're struggling, if you're feeling like you're having a hard time getting a clear head, getting a break, mentally, emotionally, physically, don't underestimate the power of time away. I actually took an extra day. And I'm staying at a friend's house, and normally I'm very courteous about my time. I'm in, I'm out. I don't like to overstay. She just happens to be out of town, so I had some extra time, and it took a little bit of convincing for me to stay an extra day. And this right now is my extra day, and I tell you what, it feels amazing to not be on the road right now, to go back home when I want during the day and to do a little bit of shopping and to come home refreshed, and hopefully it's not snowing like it was a blizzard when I left. It was a blizzard when I left for the first 25 minutes. Then it cleared up, and then it turned into a gnarly wind and sandstorm, which was actually, by the time I drove through it, it wasn't too bad. And I got down here at dark and got settled in, and I hadn't even gotten a chance to sort of wash the road weariness off of me. And I had a really great night's sleep. I felt better the instant I came down here. So, excuse me. Give yourself a break. Give yourself a change of scenery. I was actually a little scared. This is the first time that I've been on my own, that I've driven anywhere past 40 minutes. I drove 40 minutes out of town a month or so ago by myself. That was it. Not really outside of the bubble at all. And so I was a little apprehensive. I got into my car. It felt foreign to me. And I forgot how much I love my car. And it was almost like I didn't know how to drive. And then I realized I had been in the hospital. Out of 15 days, I had been in the hospital 10 of those. And then plus, other than driving myself to work, I don't drive much. When I'm sick, I don't drive at all. Especially early on in June and July, I didn't really drive much at all. I would force myself to drive once a week. I would plan a morning where I wasn't in pain. I didn't have to take pain meds. And I just wanted to feel independent. And I didn't want to feel, invalid or compromised. I wanted to feel myself. And remember, because I'm a very independent person, I always have since I was a little kid. And I didn't want to lose that, something that's really, really important to me. And having that independence back was scary, but I did it. Now I'm at the end of my trip, and I got sick once, and it wasn't that bad. I didn't have to go to the ER. I didn't have to call out for help. I didn't need help. I handled it. My body handled it. I trusted my body to handle it. And it was the first time that I'd had that particular set of symptoms, and it resolved itself. and I got a good night's sleep. It was the most encouraging, the most encouraged I'd been. For now, it's been since the middle of, it's been, probably for a month. Probably for 3 weeks to a month, closer to a month. I really have been struggling with my health. It had gotten to a point, and I mentioned this before, but it had just gotten to the point where I felt like I was dying. If I didn't get surgery, I was going to die. I'm letting myself feel hopeful. I had a wonderful couple of appointments. I met with the surgeons on Tuesday. I had another appointment Wednesday that was less significant. And then today I met with my new oncologist, and we're both on the same page. You know, he, of course, he prefaced all of this with he can't say because he doesn't know for sure, but, you know, his initial evaluation of me and of my chart and just of what he knew, he was optimistic. It was just feels very routine. It just feels like we're going to move forward. He's going to let me recover from surgery for another about 3 weeks. And then we're going to go in with chemo, and we're going to do chemo aggressively. Same protocol I had before, as far as I know. And we're going to do that for 4 sessions, so another 2 months. And I'll be further down the road. I don't have the bowel obstruction anymore. My life, that was life-changing. That was a bitch, but it was life-changing. I had no idea how much I was suffering with that bowel obstruction. So technically the bowel obstruction is still there, but with a colostomy bag now. And folks, colostomy bags are, you know, being attached to a bag of poop, not the sexiest thing, not really something you want people to know. And this is something I've also talked about before, but it's not that big of a deal. It really isn't. It's so not a big deal in my life that it's so, I thought it was going to be such a thing I had to manage, but it really hasn't been. And there's a part of me that can see why some people, you know, opt to not have it reversed. I'm obviously too young to have that. If I were in my 70s or 80s, you know, depending on what my love life is, then maybe I would choose to not have it reversed. But, you know, it is an extra opening in your body, and you can have some complications with your skin if you don't have a tight enough seal or, you know, but I've had no leakage. I've had no inconvenience from it. You know, once you get the hack of changing it, it's less messy to change this than it is to actually go to bathroom the other way, which is really odd. It's just, I don't even know. I'm so surprised. I am so surprised by how easy it's been. So if you've gotten one of those, if you're looking forward to getting one of those, I should say looking forward, and, you know, the very non-looking forward, just, you know what I'm saying. If it's something that you need to have done, do it. I was super hesitant. It was the last thing I wanted, was to, not only am I, you know, weigh 115 pounds and, you know, look maybe not the healthiest right now, I also did not want to be attached to a poop bag on top of that. So, you know, and I have my little part that sticks out here, you know, there's just little things that happen to your body that sort of change, and you get used to it. And now I actually like being thinner. I definitely won't stay at 115 pounds because I have no butt. Literally, my butt has been my feature. I've always had a great butt, and I can't believe it just completely disappeared. So maybe someday I'll get it back, maybe not. But you know what? Now that I don't have a butt, I literally do not have a butt. Now that I don't have one, I'm starting to look around and I'm like, oh, there's actually people out there who don't have a butt either, and who cares? If I get one back, great. If not, being a size 2, being a size 0, yeah, not gonna lie, clothes feel like I'm able to wear things I have not been able to wear before. So that's my vanity. That's being a woman. That's just part of who I am. And as you can tell, I'm not super vain. I rarely put makeup on for these videos. And but being sick like this, having these health issues, in a weird way, has kind of made me more conscientious about how I look and how I stand, and portraying confidence or portraying health. That health isn't just the numbers and everything functioning on the inside. It's also something that you extend out energetically, that you exude in your circle, in your physical circle, and the way that your voice sounds, and the way that you move, and the light that shines from you or doesn't shine from you. And that was one of the saddest things to see is when I look at myself and excuse me, my nose itches, when I look tired and worn out and collapsed. And I got to dress nice this week. I got to wear things I haven't worn for a while. I got to wear heels and a blazer and jewelry and do my hair every day and makeup and think about myself in a different way. There's a part of me about living in a small mountain town that it's really easy to sort of give up taking care of yourself. It's easy to just throw on boots, a hat, and a puffy and call it a day. And makeup, maybe, having your hair done, forget about it, that kind of stuff. I think it's important to keep up your appearance when you're sick. Don't do it don't force yourself if you're not feeling it, but it helps. For me to put on cute sandals that I haven't worn since I bought them, to put on my favorite blazer that it's usually just too much to wear. Where I live, everyone just wears sportswear all the time. Sportswear and sweats and comfy clothes and puffies and all that kind of stuff. And there's just such a part of me that misses shoulder pads and heels and color. And I have all this wonderful jewelry and makeup and beautiful perfumes. Those little joys. Now that's me. That's what brings me joy. And before I go, I just want to remind you to not let everything go because you're sick. Yes, your health is the priority, 100%. But so is how you feel about yourself. So is feeling good about the way that you look. And if it's not that, doing those things that really give you joy, if it's spending more time with your family, if it's being outside, if it's catching up on movies, if it's reading, like reading an actual book, if that's your thing, if it's cooking, if it's writing, painting, if it's organizing so much fun sometimes. Don't let those things go. That's part of who you are. And you're more than your sickness. And you're more than what's happening to you. And you're more than how you feel. You're more than how you think. You're more than how you think about yourself. You're more than the stuff that brings you down. You're more than the stuff, whatever it was for you. You're more than the path that brought you to where you are right now. And remember that. Feel into that. Lean into that. I think that's it for now. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. I hope today you do one thing that just reminds you that you're you and that you're not cancer. Cancer is the tiniest part of you. It's a bitch, but it's not you. Good night and take care.